I'm a bird, mother. I'm a bird.
IDubbbz's wife is ruining his life. This is nothing new. She's been, honestly, I'm starting to think that it's an inside job at this point. This was the plan all along. Convince me otherwise.
Welcome back to the legendary drama series. We got a lot of updates today. Hasan has responded to people calling him jealous of Asmongold. He claims that he's actually very happy that Asmongold is on top. IDubbbz's wife Anisha.
Sure. Sure he's happy. I said it in the last video and I'll say it again. Hasan was defeated by a man falling through his ceiling. Hasan was defeated by a man called the Roach King. Hasan was defeated by a man called Lord Voldemort. Hasan was defeated by a man who used a rat as his alarm clock. I'm just saying.
Lisa continues to absolutely humiliate him on a regular basis. Ethan has reacted to the failure of Creator Clash 3, calling Ian and Anissa idiots. Even more creators are speaking out. Ethan continues his beef with Taylor Lorenz, the washed-up journalist. Twitch CEO Dan Clancy is now giving advice about gooning. Oh wait, sorry, Twitch streaming.
Oh yeah. For people who don't know this story, Dan Clancy, he was showcasing the story feature on Twitch, like how you have on Instagram, right? It's like a short snippet that lasts 24 hours. And when he was showcasing it, all it shows that he's only following hot tub streamers. So that happened.
Says that Twitch should just ban politics entirely. Elon Musk has also decided to accept his offer to stream on Twitter. Already subscribe, tell your friends about the channel. If you want to Netflix and chill with your lover, just put the series on in the background.
Who would want to Netflix and chill and look at this? My ovaries are gonna pack up and leave the country.
IDubbbz will enjoy watching you, of course. Anyways, let's begin with Hasan coping that Asmongold is more popular than him. Hasan says he's not jealous of Asmongold and that it's ultimately a good thing. He's the face of the online right.
Octagon of haters who watch your every move, dudes who can't watch themselves. I don't think that this is a sustainable movement. A lot of people who are drama obsessed and have no other way of understanding politics outside of the framework of clout and drama constantly say, Hasan, you're so jealous that Asmongold is the
He's talking about himself.
top content creator. Asmongold has always been the top content creator on this platform. He's always
No, he hasn't.
No.
He hasn't.
been a bigger content creator than me. Him
He is trying to play it cool so hard, but he's just coming off as a child that's trying to play it off.
Yep.
being the face of the modern online right is unironically a good thing. Because I still think that
Who unironically will have a neon sign like this? Like, unironically. A naked man with his name flexing muscles. I'm just saying. Isn't Kai Cenat the biggest? Yes, he is, actually.
He is the biggest next to Speed.
I would say it's like it's like 3. I Show Speed, Kai Cenat, and XQC, numbers wise.
that there are enough people that live in the normal world and not online, even though online is increasingly taking up more and more space in our lives. There are still enough people who live in the normal world that find that shit to be utterly repulsive and disgusting, understandably.
There's no way Hasan actually thinks people who are not terminally online, you know, people in the real world, think that he's a reasonable person. All right.
Oh, okay. So our audience is mostly people who are not terminally online,
Yeah.
especially our video watchers. So, like, we have a community who is heavily like divided, not because they hate each other, but just divided because of the limited time they have. We have our video watchers and VOD watchers, and we have our stream watchers. Stream watchers are like 50-50. Some are constantly online, some are limited time online, and they're just using our streams while they play games or do their work. But they're
Yeah.
not terminally online. They all hate Hasan. Then we have our VOD watchers who sometimes watch videos, but again, they have families, they have kids, they have wives, they have jobs. So, and a lot of them are very vocally against social media because they don't really enjoy it. And they all hate Hasan.
Yep.
So, him saying that terminally online people, even based on our own community for us, non-terminally online people don't like him. Everything they see of him right away makes them hate him.
I don't know, man, if I was a person in the real world, which I am, all right, I'm not AI. I just happen to be a guy making videos here. But I would think the terrorist supporting freak who is recently just playing defense for a shooter is actually the utterly repulsive person. Also, I swear to God, that was like verbatim what I said in my video, that he was like super jealous of Asmon Gold. I feel like there's a 0% chance he isn't watching these videos. I mean, KSI, Logan, and Mr. Beast watch the channel, so obviously Hasan does. He's like a minuscule compared to them. You know, I kind of wish that he was more popular now because I was getting like 5 times more views with the Lunchley crew, but whatever. You know, I'll take.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, the Pegasus, he milked the Mr. Beast thing so hard. Every single video, every single day he had a video on a new Mr. Beast update. He milked it to a point where all these like YouTube content creators, they were mentioning Pegasus specifically, and all of them were saying the same, get your bag.
Take Hasan, irrelevant Hasan here for now. I'm kidding, of course. But anyways, he keeps calling us like drama obsessed, like slop tubers or whatever, right? And I just don't get this argument, right? First off, you're a lol cow, right? It's fun to
He
laugh at you.
is.
You're like a train wreck, right? Like a evil character in a TV show, and your downfall is imminent, except that you're somehow real. Also, speaking from the last 7 years I've been doing YouTube, drama is very sustainable, at least for me. In fact, we're omega chilling right now, doing amazing. So him saying the same thing that Aniso is saying, like,
Okay, I will clarify something. For Pegasus, the drama is sustainable because he doesn't get involved in like those Twitter beefs and stuff like that. He'll make a video, he'll get the bag, but he doesn't get involved in it on a personal level. He wouldn't give less of a damn about it.
oh, this is not sustainable. Your career is going to be over the second you stop talking about me. Like, dude, keep coping. In fact, send me this clip in 10 years and we'll see who's still relevant. I'm just saying, I got a love for the game, all right? You just got a love for terrorists, man. Also, it's
Damn.
okay to be jealous, man. Asmon gets a lot of viewers. He dusts you on Twitch, on YouTube, in arguments and likability and pretty much every metric you hold dear. If I were you, I'd just go back to your Discord and start crying to your viewers again.
So that becoming the face of the modern right, the online right, is ultimately the last evolution of the online right. It doesn't get any worse than that. Does that make sense? I think it's ultimately a positive because the likes of Ben Shapiro can traffic in mainstream circles just as easily as they can appear. As a matter of fact, easier in mainstream circles than they can on a PewDiePie video, right? If that is the role model of the face of the online right as it is now, as it's become now, that's unsustainable. These are people who do not go outside.
Okay, is Hasan the Epstein home cinema 50-50? Because he's projecting like crazy right now. I mean,
Everyone thought that. So, bro, you're projecting, man.
God, I love this channel. I've been watching his videos for years now.
God, his sense of humor is like right up our alley.
unfortunately, you are actually the biggest leftist streamer, right? Which definitely makes you the face of the online left, and everybody sort of hates you for that. They hate that they're being represented by the most extremist piece of shit. You know, people probably care about certain social causes, but they're never going to agree with you when you're like openly supporting terrorists and cheering them on stream, right? So
when people from your own political pool hate your existence, that's a little bit right on the nose that maybe it's time to reevaluate what kind of stuff you're spewing, or maybe time to reevaluate how you even grew, because now you're so afraid to even say anything that your chat would disagree with, because the situation Hasan put himself into, if he doesn't do all of this stuff, his community will eat him alive.
It's ironic for you to say that Asmongold is turning people away from politics. By the way, Ethan Klein now has a higher view count than Hasan. If we look at the YouTube stream, Ethan got 30,000 viewers and Hasan is on 29k now. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. All right, you actually played yourself. You thought you could like take down Ethan with all this like weird content cop behind the scenes work.
Oh my god, this is still the cringiest thing we've ever watched on stream.
I don't want to get reminded of that. That thing was super.
This was so cringe, and honestly, I regret spending my life watching this.
Working with IDubbbz, helping him put together that video, and you've just elevated his career, made him more popular than you now. And I don't know, all of Hasan's enemies just stay winning. Anyways, let's move on to Anissa humiliating IDubbbz once again. Ethan reacts to Anissa saying
the people Hasan crashes out at the most are Asmongold, Tectone,
Nux.
and Nux. And all of them are fine. Whether you love them or hate them, they're fine. They're getting their bag. They're getting their views. They're getting their growth. They're fine.
she attempted to do something interesting to Ian in the bedroom.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Ian's not into any of that shit. I've tried.
Wait, what?
Huh?
Wait, what?
Huh?
Once again, Ethan reacts to Anissa saying she attempted to do something interesting to Ian in the bedroom.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Ian's not into any of that shit. I've tried.
Huh?
No, she says she's tried to peg him.
Why does this kind of make sense that she did try to do that? Also, I understand running a podcast, but like some things you don't have to say. Some things you don't have to say in the hopes of making money.
Oh.
She's said that she's tried to peg him. And so far she's been unsuccessful.
Okay. Well.
Now again, nothing wrong with that.
No.
Get weird and wild with your significant other.
Right.
However, once again, the context of the whole fucking story.
Well, it's not as bad because she said it didn't happen.
Well, she tried though, but she's trying to fuck him in that.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
he doesn't even want to.
She asked once, and he was like,
doesn't it seem like a power thing? He's like, I am not interested. She's like, let me.
I don't.
Yo. Yo, what?
No,
and he's
if
like,
that's how it went.
No.
I don't know if that's how it went. Yeah, I'm not. I can't.
Well, it sounds
can't
like
be
something
certain.
she wanted to do and he didn't. That's what I'm saying. It sounds like she was trying to do a power play on him.
Bro, I'm telling you, Anissa actually just hates IDubbbz. There's no way.
I'm kind of convinced too. I don't think she really likes who she's with for so many years.
Yeah, nah.
And by the way, there's a lot of relationship like this where people are together and they cannot stand each other.
You'd ever put this information out there unless you specifically want him to be made fun of. And you know, I'm starting to believe that theory about IDubbbz and Anissa.
But my real question is, do you think Anissa lets Ian watch when she has sex with Hasan?
Oh, good lord.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what they use the Creator Clash empty arena for, right? He has to pay it. Oh god,
dude! If it comes out like years from now that Anissa and Hasan was a thing, dude, I'm saying I called it. All right, it would just.
I don't think so. Quite genuinely, I don't think so.
No.
Make too much sense. By the way, I was supposed to be on this podcast. Tecto invited me, but unfortunately couldn't do it because of time zone differences. So I don't know. It's rough out here, guys. We gotta watch like IDubbbz. Anyways, after this, Ethan watches a clip of Anissa exposing that IDubbbz has been shitting himself.
Why is Anissa telling the world that IDubbbz regularly shits his pants? Good question. That's not the worst.
Why is she destroying the person she's dating?
Is this like the Will Smith situation again?
Yes, it genuinely feels that way. The situationship where she dragged Will Smith onto the freaking set to tell him that she was in a situationship.
Well, I want to ask Rajor a question first.
Okay.
Rajor.
Wait, we should get Rajor in here.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you can.
Well, if you can. I just want to ask
He
him.
does look like his breath stinks. Like, he looks like he needs a shower so bad, doesn't he?
Honestly, if I were to like rate Ian honestly, I would say like 9.5. Like literally the only thing that would make him like, you know, 0.5 hotter is if like he fucking his breath didn't stink all the time.
It's like his clothes are all used and
God.
disheveled. His hair is all fucking bed hair. His face looks greasy. The dude needs to brush his fucking teeth. I have no doubt about that. The thing is, that's a private conversation.
It reminds me like of one of those dudes who like we all have seen those couples. It's like the chick is gonna be walking around with a Gucci bag with Prada shoes and stuff like that, while the dude next to her is wearing like worn out shoes, a secondhand shirt. We all have seen those couples out about in the wild. That's what it kind of reminds me of, that dynamic.
Agent says no. I think Anissa is being parasocial towards the audience by sharing personal information that you keep to yourself.
I don't think that's parasocial. I think she genuinely is just trying to humiliate her own partner.
You know, probably needs to change his underwear too, from the sound of it. Doo-doo pants.
In here.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you can.
Well, if you can. I just want to
Well,
ask
if
him
you
if
can.
you've always been shitting your pants.
No.
Because since I've known.
Who does that on
the
a live
quiet
stream?
defeat.
Oh God,
The quiet
that's painful.
resignation.
Since I've known you, you've always had like IBS. You've always been shitting yourself.
Yeah, well.
Well, I want to ask Radjor a question first.
Okay.
So we got
I genuinely kind of feel bad for him though.
Yeah.
Like this looks like a defeated man.
bad breath. He's always shitting his pants. Always. Then we learn about the Cheesecake Factory story where she says he's cheap.
Dude, Anissa is evil, bro. My God. Why would you do that? Why would you say that to your husband on stream? Like, I swear everything she does is to just emasculate him, humiliate him. You know, starting in OnlyFans is pretty much the thing that, so it was like the first domino to ruining IDubbbz' career, right? You know, I'm not 32 yet, so I didn't unlock empathy, right? I need another like 8 years to get to that milestone. But honestly, my empathetic response to IDubbbz here, you gotta leave that soul-sucking harpy, bro.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't know the behind the scenes or whatever, but from everything I've seen in public, she has literally ruined your life, all right?
They have to genuinely break up and like go through therapy on their own, like their own therapy, and be single for some time.
Yeah. Like you may not like don't like him, but you can see the situation that this whatever this is.
Yeah.
Like, it's not healthy for both of them, and it's disgusting.
Yeah.
It from every perspective. But what do I know? I'm just a slop tuber. As a devout feminist, I think there's nothing wrong with 30-year-old virgin Ian Jomaha getting pegged by his Do what you want in private with your partner, but why does she always try to overshare and talk bad and embarrass about her husband?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too. Like, you can do whatever the hell you want in your own personal life, but why do you always have the need to overshare everything on the internet?
I talk so good about my man. If we broke up, people will say, what did you do? So let me get this straight. Guy's known for being very edgy, right-wing, never touch a woman, meets girl who becomes his first and only experience. She fixes him, corrupts him politically to her insane beliefs to the point where he becomes a tanky and she
Oh, yeah. Wasn't there like the whole story that he lost his virginity to her? That she was literally the first one he slept with.
was the pet. Anyways, moving on to Creator Clash. Ethan calls out Creator Clash Anissa and Ian for still selling tickets to the event days after news of postponement.
And once again, the event has not said a single fucking word, right? They have not stopped selling tickets. And it's gone to the point where now he's the
Is that
second.
still true as of today?
Check it out. I haven't heard anything to the contrary yet.
gosh.
As of last night, it was true.
Let's see, event tickets. It does look like it's allowing me to buy a ticket.
Yeah. They're still selling tickets. They have not made any statements. And they put the creators who are in this, participating in this, in a point where they're so f***ed. And they're telling their fans, like, hey, come watch me. Come buy a hotel. Come buy a ticket. And they're not telling they're not saying anything. They're forcing the creators to break this story because they're not saying anything. It's the most.
Well, okay, but like the two main headliners have already pulled out of the boxing because they're really disgusted with what they're doing online and they don't want any association with it.
Most pathetic, catastrophic mismanagement I have ever seen. And when I said Creator Clash 3 would be worse than TanaCon, it's way worse than TanaCon. Okay?
What did I say, guys? I've been calling it this entire time. They failed the last event, lost $250,000. They shouldn't be allowed to do another charity event. And people are speculating now that it's looking more and more like fraud. Like, why aren't they saying anything? It's just a bit ridiculous now. You're making the creators go online, humiliate themselves. We have a new creator coming out every week, you know, getting in front of the camera, telling their fans like, oh, sorry, guys. Sorry for anyone who's excited about this event. We got to change it. Oh, what's that? You bought plane tickets? Oh, you made time from your job and you took out holidays for this? Nope, sorry, you're cooked. So anyways, Ethan continues.
Damn, that's scummy. That's so scummy.
Roasting IDubbbz and actually manages to buy a ticket.
Right. Stinky ass breath idiot can't even run an event. Your wife said so.
Well, theoretically, they're not running anything anymore, right?
And by the way, they're going to try to be like, well, we stepped away a week ago. F you.
Yeah, no, I mean, ultimately it is all
Howard.
their
You
responsibility.
don't get to step away a week before the event hits the side of a mountain and then wash your hands of it. This is all you. This is Ian and Anissa, the event. Nobody's buying that shit, bud. And still sell tickets. This is bordering on this is bordering on criminal fraud at this point.
I don't know
And I saw-
what the laws are, but it sure doesn't seem very good the way it's being handled.
They showed a screenshot of them talking to the support, and they said they're not offering refunds.
Maybe it's just not yet. I don't know.
What are they waiting for?
There hasn't even been an official announcement that it's canceled.
I mean, it's basic courtesy. The very first thing you should do is make an announcement that all the shit is going on. Then you should refund everybody. Then you should disable buying more tickets on the website.
I was under the impression that they are refunding everyone. When have they announced that they aren't? Wouldn't this go under a scam?
I don't really know what kind of ridiculous management this actually is. And IDubbbz and Anissa trying to skirt responsibility by handing it off to someone else. Like, don't worry, guys, I made my bag. Like, I remember Anissa used like that own against Ethan saying that, oh, you're not hurting us financially. We make sure that we don't lose any money on these charity events, which is like the most insane admission that you would take money from charity to make sure that you don't get a loss. But yeah, it's just funny how they tried to pawn it off to somebody else and make somebody else take the fall. I don't know. It's looking a lot like Denim's lawsuit against Ethan here. Like, I'm just crowdfunding, guys, for my own selfish needs. Don't really care about the people in Gaza. Just fund my lawsuit, guys. Donate to me instead. And then turns out she wasn't even suing. Anyways, another creator has spoken out. Nathan Barnett.
Just a little bit of TLDR. She did refund the money. She said she'll use her own money to sue Ian.
And Dad reveals that Creator Clash 3 will be held in LA, and those who bought tickets will be refunded.
It's still going on. It's not happening June 28th. That's out there now. So I can say that. But the official announcement will come out soon, this week, I think. So I'm still pumped. I'm still ready to go. It's not going to happen in June. And now that it's not happening in Florida and it's in LA, that will be good for me. And hopefully people can still come out here for that. If you did buy tickets for the fight in person in Tampa or the pay-per-view, you will get refunded.
Okay, I got a couple questions. First off, is everybody getting refunded? Because people were posting screenshots for like emails that they couldn't get refunds and stuff like that. So I don't know what was going on with that. But my second question is, they are only refunding the tickets, right? So my question is, who's going to refund the hotel rooms that people actually booked or the plane tickets that people bought in advance? Because all of that stuff also costs money.
I mean, to be fair, if you're like, so this event is like months away, right? You can reschedule your flight. You don't need like, some airlines won't give you a refund, but they give you like a timing reschedule thing. Same with hotels. Usually hotels, you reserve the place. You don't actually pay for it right away. You just reserve the place.
But that's out of their own pocket. It has nothing with IDubbbz, right?
Yeah.
The plane and the hotel, that's something that they got to sort out.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering what is the appropriate refund amount here, because it's definitely more than the ticket price, at least for some people. But obviously they're not going to be paying that type of stuff because it's your loss, you know? And yet another failed charity event. By the way, come on, 2 failed charity events, that's got to be considered some level of, that needs to be investigated. I'm not going to say the word, but it needs to be investigated. You'd have better luck handing your money to Logan Paul's new crypto project. Then we have this clip of IDubbbz talking about Ethan's content.
Like I so badly like want Ethan to understand, and fans of Ethan understand that like what he's doing on his podcast is like the most like uncreative, non-special thing that you could possibly be doing as a content creator.
Dude, I'm so sick of.
But like, did he see his own video? What? This is the definition of throwing stones in a glass house.
This. He's basically saying like his content is like not high standard enough, or essentially slop again, right? So what this creator is doing is uncreative. It's so simple and non-special. Like, who cares? Who actually cares? Plenty of people are watching it and enjoying it. Now he's got 30,000 viewers live, and the streams get tons of views as well. So let people make what they want. And how is it that people can do better?
Yeah, I would genuinely wanna be so unsuccessful where I get 30,000 viewers on stream. Please let me fail that way.
Better than you doing that type of uncreative content, right? I feel like people like IDubbbz are just so mad that they can't actually do the same thing. His own podcast is completely failing, literally like getting like 1 to 5K.
Oh, that's less than some of our videos. Oh, please let me fail like Ethan Klein.
Views or something like that. So obviously he's super jealous of Ethan. I don't know what to say, man. Just stop crying and get good. Holy shit. Sucks to suck, bro. I don't think there's a single person who's ever said I'm a big fan of IDubbbz underneath the podcast. Anyways, continuing Ethan's beef with Taylor Lorenz. If you didn't watch the previous videos, basically she's the person who defended Hasan a bunch, cried about his 24-hour ban, thinks that Ethan killed his own dog, supported a CPS for being called on Ethan's kids. Just horrible person. Basically, this Tom Ward guy was calling out Anissa for being a fake person. I have one more comment on this trend of showing fake concern. They say things like, oh, you're aspiring, oh, they need help, I suffer from bipolar. It's dismissive to people who are really struggling with mental health. So Taylor apologizes. So sorry you're struggling with that, Tom. I cover online trends, so apologize if you're missing if I'm missing context. But I hope you learned that people expressing concern don't hate you. I can't imagine going through the world thinking that people have expressed kindness or empathy towards me. Empathy, it's an IDubbbz. Secretly hate me. It must be a very lonely experience. I hope that anyone who is struggling learns to take care of themselves instead of lashing out at others. Tom Ward is a real deal. He says it like it is. He's true gold. He stands up for people and expresses himself honestly. You are gilded with edible gold sheets, and underneath you're corroded and rusted like an old bucket fished out of a lake. And like a fished out bucket, you carry swamp water full of pond scum. You're not even a useful bucket. You have holes from the corrosion. You spill disease-ridden importable water with every step. Everywhere you go is marked by foul-smelling sewage water and slime. When those that you carry water for smell you, they fear people will suspect it's they who stink, and we all conclude
this would be a nice song with these lyrics.
In unison, it's best to put the scum bucket back in the swamp. So he's calling her like a swamp monster? I genuinely can't believe she's pulling this shit on Tom. He has a job, which he's amazing at, a family, a house, and much more life experience. She has no clue what he has overcome in his life. How effing dare you patronize him with this pathetic attempt at concern trolling? How smug and arrogant to presume to lecture him on anything. Now in response to Taylor's message, of course, Ethan didn't mean to kill his dog. What the frick? That's the most disingenuous, condescending note ever on the platform. She's definitely awful. Actually, it's called empathy. IDubbbz attempts a joke. Crazy that the gold sheets are edible. What? What does that even mean? Can somebody let me know in the comments? Sounds like the ramblings of a drugged out bug. Taylor responds to Ethan implying she's a swamp creature. Well, one thing Ethan Klein agree on is that Tom Ward is a great person and the real deal. Not sure about the rest of the stuff, but Tom is a good guy and I will have always appreciated his work. I will go back into my swamp lair now. Wow. Actually somewhat taking the L, didn't really apologize, but I don't know, somewhat retreating. Okay. Now apparently Meat Cannon was also banned.
To be fair, that's still like the most graceful retreat of a content creator I have seen since we started YouTube.
And on Twitch, I'm not sure why, but apparently everybody's getting banned before Hasan gets a legitimate actual ban longer than 24 hours. Of course. Anyways, moving on to Dan Clancy talking about advice for streamers.
What
Okay. This is what we have been all waiting for. Actual advice from the man, the myth, the legend himself. Let me brace myself. Let me prepare to absorb this knowledge. Woo! I'm ready.
What advice would you give to a streamer that's wanting to start out and have an actual career out of it?
Yeah. First of all, if you don't enjoy streaming, don't do it. If you can't just be focused on
Okay, well, I'm cooked. Bye, everyone. I'm joking. Anyway.
a career, because you have to enjoy what you're doing. Okay. Number one. Number two, you got to be entertaining. Okay. And the foundation.
Well, I'm cooked again. I don't enjoy it. I'm not funny. Double cooked. Let's see. Maybe there's a third one that will save me.
Got to be entertaining. Number three, collaborate with other people. That's the foundation.
We don't collab. Well, guys, I guess this is our last stream.
We're cooked, man.
Often. And number four, use other social media.
Well, he left out sucking off Hasan Piker,
Okay. Oh, okay.
promoting terrorism on your platform, and make sure if you're a girl and you start Twitch, you gotta be a naked OnlyFans girl so he can goon to you. Now, moving on to Asmongold.
I still cannot believe they greenlit that video of him showing all of that while showcasing the Twitch feature of stories. Who greenlit it? How did he do that? Why would he do that? Who?
Talking about how Twitch should ban politics.
If I wanted to optimize ad revenue, you know what I would do? I'd ban politics. The odds are that me and Hasan and Tectone and Frogan and Denims and Central Committee cause 90% of the PR problems on the entire website. That is crazy.
Well, I think if you ban Hasan, that kind of solves most of the problems, because without Hasan, all the Hasan clones just disintegrate, right? It's like Naruto's Shadow Clone Jutsu. You just gotta hit the real one with the Chidori and they all fall, I guess.
5 of the people create 90% of the problems. So yes, if I was Twitch, I would just say, hey guys, cut it the f out or you're getting banned. This is making us look bad, right? That's it. And am I
Or like speaking a language they understand. You guys like money? Me too. If you continue, no money, money bye-bye. And they would be like, oh, okay, I got it.
crazy? How much would viewership drop? It wouldn't go down that much, right? And I don't think it would really worth it. So if I wanted to maximize ad revenue, that is what I would do, right? Do you think the only reason they haven't done it is it means that Hasan couldn't cover topics they agree with on anymore? No, it's because they can't draw the line on what's political and what's not. That's the reason why they can't do it, and the reason why they can't draw the line is because they're ideologically captured by California politics, right? Like, the fact is that any normal person knows what is and isn't politics, but for them, they're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, for people like Hasan, basically everything is political. So, like, if you're drinking water, right? Well, actually, that water bottle is owned by X company, whose CEO's great-grandfather's cousin is donating to Y cause, which I don't like. Therefore, you're racist for drinking water, you piece of shit. Now, Elon Musk actually responded to Asmongold wanting to stream on Twitter or X and says, okay, let's give it a shot. I don't know if he can do it, but if Twitter becomes a streaming platform, that'll be an insane.
I mean, it's not that hard to imagine. You can literally, when you open Twitter, right, you can have like a streaming section there. Like, let's say there's like a whole sidebar, right, for streaming. You can just click on it and then browse through categories, through games, through all of that stuff. I mean, it is possible. Make it like a platform that connects and integrates into Twitter, but like it just like directs you to that like separate part of Twitter. It is possible.
Insane turn of events. Then Asmon talks about how he's also not going to attend TwitchCon.
I'm so worried that if this behavior isn't addressed, if this isn't punished fully, there's no way I would be going to TwitchCon this year. I would be horrified. I would feel so...
I wouldn't either, honestly. Like, there were a number of examples of people that were, like, there was that one Kick streamer that, like, sexually assaulted NMP and Wake. And
There's a lot of these stories from TwitchCon. There's stories of VTubers being drugged. There are stories of people getting assayed. There's stories of people getting molested. There's so many of those stories happening there. I don't think going to TwitchCon is safe.
Twitch didn't do anything about that, and they didn't try to press charges on him or do anything. That was crazy. Yeah, I would never go to TwitchCon.
Dude, there's zero reason to go to TwitchCon unless you're a mentally ill Hasan fan. And if hypothetically as a streamer, I would still not go to TwitchCon because I don't want to be sniped by one of Hasan's goons. Although it'll probably be someone like Mike from PA who can't even beat up a couch. Now apparently
I know a lot of people in our last videos, they posted so many explanations who Mike from PA is. And by the way, I appreciate everyone who wrote those. I really do appreciate it.
Hasan has been dick riding like every big streamer slash influencer trying to get on their good side.
Kaisen, it's Viral Streamer University.
Streamer University is really the greatest site-wide event thrown
I've seen this tweet.
so far in Twitch history.
Bro wants to be included so bad. Holy shit, you're so desperate for clout, lol.
Isho Speed went viral going to China.
His China trip is literally like it's something that I dream of. And then I wake up in cold sweats knowing that I have to live in reality where I have not done it.
Why does he sound like this jealous girl from high school? You know, like those high school chicks, when you get like a cool new top that your mom bought you for your birthday, she sees it and she right away behind your back goes like, oh, I heard that she's a slut. That's how he sounds.
Oh my god, this is literally, he's f***ing living my dream. He's literally living my dream. I hate it.
Dude, who's stopping you from doing the shit and living life? Just get off your miserable ass doing politics and supporting terrorists and go live an actual good life, dude. Like, people would kill to be in your position, but you're here just ruining your life and stressing yourself out for no reason. Then he talks about Billie Eyelashes.
I'm gonna be honest. Every streamer who gets to a point of millions, most of them, they start treating themselves. They start buying stuff that they weren't able to afford in the past. Like I mean, for example, in US health insurance. I goof. No. But like, there's a lot of content creator who do end up getting the bag from content. They start going to like vacations of places like they only dreamed of, like Japan or New Zealand. Those places are not cheap to go to.
By the way, shouts out to friends of the show. Billie Eilish, also tangential friend of the show. This is a pro Billie Eilish household. Make no mistake. Name one song, chat. Don't ask me that. You know, gun to my head. You kill me. I listen to no music. I support musicians.
Oh my god.
What? I listen to no music. I support musicians. What?
Hasan is so desperate for anybody famous to be on his side, dude. Oh my god. By the way, Billie Eilish is the same person who talks about how she jacks off to herself in the...
Yeah, I already talked about it on stream. I personally don't like her. If you enjoy her music, more power to you. I personally don't like her on a personal level.
She what?
Apparently, she cannot get off unless she sees herself.
Holy crap.
The mirror, and that she's so much of a narcissist she can only get off to herself.
There you
Billie
go.
Eilish tells Rolling Stone that she likes to touch herself in front of a mirror and feeling empowered. Yeah, I knew that word was gonna be in here. Nobody needed to know this.
And the internet altogether band together to tell her we didn't need to know that. I think that's when she started getting a lot of criticism after. Like, why?
Spread my wings high, reach the sky. Feathers in the wind, never asking why. I'm a bird, motherfucker, I'm a bird. Soaring high, yeah, that's the word. Flying free like you never heard. I'm a bird, motherfucker, I'm a bird. Clouds beneath my toes, wind blows where it goes.